Hey everyone, beautiful souls. So I just want to hop on. I'm going to do a little bit of just wanted to share some thoughts about the weekend forecast that I had just done on my YouTube channel. Feel free to go jump over there if you would like to see what that weekend forecast would be like if you want to see those cards. But I wanted to talk about one of the biggest the topic that I was really being called to speak on today, that I've been feeling the energy through this whole week, and that is, how do you know when it's time to give up or step up? And this can be a question that you can ask yourself in a relationship, in a job, in a, whether it's, something that, a chapter in your life that you're trying to know if it's time to, it could even be in living in your house, if it's time to get a new car, if it's time to move, friendships. I'm just hearing, like, how do you know when the contract is actually ending, whether it's a soul contract, whatever, when that contract is coming to an end, or is it just an obstacle? Is this a reason to give up, or is this an obstacle to step up? And I find myself asking this question probably more than, maybe more than I should, I don't know, but often, because hunks for confirmation, right? Because I feel like especially when you are on a path of healing, when you're on a path of improving and aligning with your highest self, with your soul purpose, and also trying to stay above the lower frequencies. If you're trying to stay higher, honks for confirmation. If you're trying to be a light in, kind of dark times, if that makes sense. How do you know if you are just beating a dead horse, so to speak, or if this is your challenge to push through, if this is just the valley of the shadow of the death, of like, this is just that there's the light at the end of that tunnel, or is that a dead end, and do I need to reverse and go down another tunnel? Does that make sense? So I've been really asking myself this. As you guys may or may not know, I had some really big things going on, and I've been dealing with some car issues for quite some time, probably within the last, I would say, 2 months or so. And it's finally coming very clear that my car is, after 5 years, is at its end, and having to recognize that completion, that contract with that car is time to be up, and it's been something I've been kind of manifesting in my psyche for a couple of years now. And so here we are at the end of its life, and there's then, all these other obstacles, what feels like hoops of fire to jump through. And it's like, as soon as I feel like I got to the end of one tunnel, here's another hoop to jump through. And maybe you feel that way in other ways. Maybe you feel that way in relationships. If you're trying to figure out why is there always something, right? And so one of the things that I was really meditating on in my bath was, Spirit was giving me the conversation that I had with a neighbor, specifically around a relationship a couple years ago, and I wasn't sure if I should stay or should I go. And the biggest thing that she gave me advice to contemplate was, is this healthy? You know, the most important thing at the end of the day is to choose healthy. You know, we always say like choose happy, choose love, choose you. But really what that means is like the most important of all of that is this healthy for me? Is this healthy for my well-being? Is this healthy for the greater good of all? You know, and so only you can really understand that. Only you can really define that for you. What is healthy for your heart? What is healthy for your home? What's healthy for your family? What's healthy for your soul, your spirit, right? And that may not be the same kind of healthiness than, you know, your partner may feel, right? You might be healthy for them, but they may not be healthy for you. And that's also something that you have to still sit with and say, just because I'm healthy for that person, if they're toxic to me, then that's not healthy for me. So how do I move forward in that? Or maybe this particular thing that they want is not healthy for me. How do I move forward in being able to either articulate and communicate that so we can try to find a mutually beneficial, synergizing, you know, solution? Or is it, you know, a detrimental value that is misaligned between the two of our core, you know, values, right? So, I think that that's a really, really important thing to talk about and for us to really like pay attention to, as far as, you know, if we're asking ourselves, if you find yourself asking yourself the same kind of question, is this, you know, are these obstacles because it's time to give up, or are these obstacles because it's time for me to push through, to step up and you know, and if it is something that, you know, is healthy for you, if it is something that, you know, makes you want to be better, makes you want to grow stronger, makes you, you know, inspires you to you know, just it inspires you to be better, then that is a form of healthy, right? If you are hanging out with 9 drunks, you become the 10th. But if you're hanging out with 9 vegans, you're probably going to become a vegan, right? Like, it's one of those things. Or at least you might become a little bit more health conscious and maybe start reading the ingredients a little bit, or paying attention of what it is that you're putting in your body. So asking yourself those kind of things: are the circles that I'm in, is the environment that I'm in actually contributing to the health and well-being of my spirit, soul, mind, body, heart, emotions, all those things, right? I do just want to say that when I was shuffling for the Daily Divine weekend forecast, we had the 10 of Cups come out. We have Saturn moving into Aries on the 24th, which at the time of this is tomorrow. And that's a huge deal. Saturn wraps around its wheel every 30 years. So the fact that Saturn is now in Aries, we also have Neptune that moved into Aries at the end of March, which was a 165, I believe, year wheel transition, solar return, you should say, I could say. This is really big. This is a completion that is moving you into a brand new cycle of fulfillment. The 10 of Cups is of fulfillment, your highest fulfillment, your happily ever after. Emotions, the Cups are your emotions. So this is indicating this weekend, and in this question as well, do I give up or step up? When you choose your health, when you choose healthy, when you choose your heart, when you choose healthy, you then complete the cycle that moves you into emotional fulfillment. We also have the Justice card that came out at the bottom of the deck, and I love that too, because when you choose happy, healthy, thank you, Spirit, when you choose happy, healthy heart and emotional fulfillment, when you choose your emotional fulfillment, what is serving your highest happiness, your highest healthiness, then justice will be served. When you choose your highest healthiness, then justice will be served. What does that mean? You may find yourself in a, maybe justice could actually literally with the scales could be something of law. You may have some sort of like settlement or some sort of court mandate that might actually be in your favor on your behalf of this abundance, of this emotional fulfillment, right? This is a really beautiful indicator of a really, really beautiful ending. Endings aren't always bad and beginnings aren't always good. Speaking of beginnings, we do have the new moon in Gemini coming up on Monday, the 26th, which is also Memorial Day. And so this, the ending and the beginning is the 10, right? The 10 and reduces to 1. So it's the ending and the beginning. So it's like maybe this is a happily ever after, the happy ending that you deserve because you are choosing healthy, happy heart, right? And it's also leading you into a new beginning. But when we are ending, when we're leaving, exiting a chapter, that still does, and moving into a new, that expansion can be very uncomfortable, thus causing those turmoil, thus causing that, those obstacles and those hoops. Why? It's like working out. You're breaking the muscle in order to strengthen the muscle. And that's very uncomfortable. And so maybe these are things that are happening that are like, why is this happening? This feels like chaos. How is this happening? This feels like it's totally out of my control. Divine intervention of some way, shape, or form. But if the end goal that you're on your way to is healthy for you, is a healthy end goal, if healthy is your end goal, then this particular obstacle, though it might not be comfortable, though it might be very inconvenient, may also be what is helping lead and expand you out of your comfort zone, out of the old patterns, out of, old karmas. Justice also indicates karma, which Saturn is also a planet of karma, responsibilities, taking responsibility for your actions so that you can do better next time is what I'm hearing. So that in the next cycle, you have a healthier foundation because you are learning. I'm also hearing experience is the best form of wisdom, right? So all of this is teaching you to follow your heart, to learn that home, that, that all paths lead home, that your heart will lead you home. Your North Star. And what is your North Star? Your heart, you're healthy, right? And that can be very vulnerable. This is a very vulnerable time right now because we are in this major transition from the completion to the new. New moons are also considered of new cycles, right? And that was a little glitch, so I like that. But yeah, the new moons are also for new cycles. Gemini is of the duality, of the yin yang, the lovers, the twins, right? The feminine and masculine, the light and the shadow. I'm hearing all of this is happening, and I really appreciate that this message is coming through for my own personal thing too, my own personal lessons, because all of this is happening to embody our shadow and our light, to embody the good with the bad, the ugly with the pretty, the pros and the cons, to not only expect for the best and the best to be to come, but to accept the rest as well. And so as you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to move and speak in your vulnerability, to stand up for your own justice, for your own happiness and fulfillment, that is what will fall you into alignment. That is how you listen to your heart. That's how you listen to your heart. That's how you follow and move into all of your abundance. Speak what is your truth. because your voice matters. This is the, I know it's backwards, affirmation for this weekend. My voice matters. My voice matters. And at the bottom of it says, I am prepared to succeed. So I love that we have the Justice card with the Ten of Cups telling us that as long as we choose, I'm going to say it again, do you give up or step up? If this is in the momentum that's pulling you towards your healthy, your happy, your heart, then the scales will be balanced and you will succeed in whatever justice needs to be served for you. The numbers that came out were 2012, and 15. So I don't know. I'm wondering. This could be, but since 2012 through 2015, that there was a really big. It could be an awakening. It could have been something that happened that you are, maybe that could be that justice that you are still fighting from. If there was something with the law of that justice card from 2012 to 2015, or if you just want to look back at those 3 years between 2012 to 2015 and seeing what was happening in your life, what is coming around now with this Saturn moving into Aries, with this new moon in Gemini, that is helping us with that karmic cycle ending, with those responsibilities finally balancing itself out. What is ending? What was beginning then that is now ending is what I'm hearing as well. And what was ending then that is now giving you a new beginning. So that's something to just think about and journal about. But that's what I got for you. Those were the big things that came up. I hope that this, is helpful. I think this is one of the biggest questions that we can ask ourselves. And that's just one of those life questions as Saturn is here in our, returning. What is time to clean out? What's time to clear out? What cannot come into our next chapter, in our next book, in our new human, our new earth, our new being? We are becoming completely brand new beings. You are becoming a completely brand new being. Who you were yesterday is not who you are today. Who you were in 2012 through 2015 is not who you are today. And that's okay. Allowing what it is that maybe you've been holding on to finally let it release, because if it's not healthy for you, if it does not serve you, let it go. If it's not healthy for you, let it go. Because what will be replenished is abundance and joy and fulfillment. All the right people, the right places, the right resources, the right energies will come to you when you make space and release what is no longer, what can no longer be in that same alignment with what you need in order for you to be the best version, the healthiest version of yourself. I hope this makes sense. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning in on this. And yeah, I hope it spoke to someone who needed to hear it. And until next time, my beautiful beloveds, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love. Namaste. Bye.